It's now time for Remember When with Uncle John. John Guess, Ouachita County's resident storyteller and local historian. Sit back now and enjoy a walk down memory lane as John recalls the days of yesteryear in his own unique way. You never know, some of it might even be true. So here's Uncle John, along with his trusty sidekick, Kelly Blair.
Back on Remember When with Uncle John. Well, here we are at the mid part of the week. That means it is Wassailing Wednesday over here on the Remember When with Uncle John show. Who you want to talk about today, Johnny?
It's the birthday boy.
Oh, we got a birthday boy.
Last week was my birthday.
Right.
Today it's Tito Santana's birthday.
Hey, there you go. One of my favorite wrestlers growing
Real
up.
name, Merced Solis.
Solis, I got you.
Merced Solis turned 70 years old today.
I understand he's a teacher now.
He is a Spanish teacher at the Eisenhower Middle School in Roxbury, New Jersey, and a part-time physical ed teacher.
Well, look at there. You'd think he'd be able to do some physical eds. Come here, kid. Let me show you a move.
So I guess that he's really Spanish, too.
Yeah, well, I understand. Yeah, you definitely. Now, the interesting thing about it, though, is that wasn't his first ring name.
What was his first ring name?
Wasn't it Richard Blood?
No, that's Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah, I thought that was like his
That's Ricky Steamboat's real name.
real name, yeah.
Okay.
But Richard Blood, Tito Santana went by Richard Blood
I did not know
in
that.
the ring.
I did not know
Just
that.
to completely and totally confuse everybody.
Man, I did not know that. But he debuted in 1977. He was trained by the great Hiro Matsuda.
There you go.
And Bob Orton.
Uh-huh.
You know, Hiro Matsuda,
Bob Orton Sr.
Bob Orton Sr. Hiro Matsuda famously, broke Hulk Hogan's leg and
Yep.
But trainer of the stars, But he was in the very first WrestleMania match.
The very first
WrestleMania match of the very first WrestleMania, and he beat Buddy Rose that was under a mask.
There you go.
But he is a two-time Intercontinental champ, two-time tag team champ, 89 King of the Ring, and being in the first ever WrestleMania match, that's trivia right there forever.
That's a pretty good thing right there. Absolutely.
Installed in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2004. It was WWF then, but just a West Texas State alumni, which is where all the good ones came from.
Yep.
The Funks and Stan Hansen and Dusty Rhodes and Bruiser Brody and all those people, Tully Blanchard, West Texas State, you can't, the Wrestlers Institute, I guess. But, he was a solid performer. He was a babyface his whole career.
Yep.
But was always kind of, in the top of the card and solid in-ring performer. Somebody that the kids got behind and loved.
Well, and I tell you what, you talk about, I was one of those marks growing up. I'm not going to lie about it now. I loved those wrestling belts, okay? And Tito Santana, back in an era in the WWF, when some big-time names like King Kong Bundy, Big John Studd, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, the Junkyard Dog, I mean, some of those guys wrestled for years in the WWF and never won a belt.
Right.
And like you said, Tito Santana, two-time tag team champion, two-time intercontinental champion. By the time they came along with WrestleMania, he had already lost the belt to Greg the Hammer Valentine, but was going to get it back and then eventually lost it to one Mr. Macho Man Randy Savage, who became even more popular with it and everything. So, but the fact that he was one of the, what would you call him? He was like a junior heavyweight, a light heavyweight, aerial tactics, had that flying forearm, could jump off the top rope, drop kicks, all that kind of stuff. And he had a championship belt around his waist half the time. I was a huge Tito Santana fan.
I did not realize he won King of the Ring in '89. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
But he was the '89 King of the Ring champion. But, solid performer. Good reputation, never late, always on time, never any scandals or anything like that. No steroid accusations.
One of the good guys.
One of the good guys in wrestling. No no sexual innuendos, none of those. No scandals, none of that.
I don't even know
stuff.
if he's ever late for a match. Did he ever miss
No,
a
no, they said he was never. He was always dependable, would be where he needed to be when he needed to be there, and would be ready.
And when you
top physical condition, too.
And when you spent 85-90% of your career, maybe more like 95% of your career, either in the AWA or in the WWF, that's saying something, because those were the major leagues right there.
That's
I mean,
right.
I love my territory days, don't get me wrong. But he wasn't out there, wrestling in Pensacola, Florida, Southwest Wrestling, whatever. No, we're talking about big time, and he was always at the top of the card.
That's right.
Hey, that's going to wrap up Remember When with Uncle John here for today. But you know what? Without ProMed Ambulance Service, the Shopper's Guide, and Sherwin-Williams House Paint, this wonderful little show would not be possible. We sure are thankful for our sponsors.
And the Shopper's Guide.
I said shopper.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
But, they deserve it. They're so good. We'll give them double billing.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow, John.
See you tomorrow, Kelly.
You've been listening to Remember When with Uncle John on Y95. This broadcast can be heard each weekday morning at 6:45 on South Arkansas's favorite station, Y95.